podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
MVTPCA.
ATIP454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1, New World Order. And pretty good.
Yeah.
It's funny. Even though it was slow, when it ended, I'm like, it's over?
It's over. I could have watched the whole movie of this.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I love all of the small stuff.
Yes.
You know, Sam with his family. You got Bucky trying to deal with everything that went down, the trauma.
Very believable. I would say, like Crimson said earlier, this felt like a movie. This felt like a movie quality.
Really good.
It's but it just it's funny. I don't want to bring it up every single time, but it feels like this feels like this is a real movie quality. Yeah. And then when WandaVision, whenever you had Darcy and Monica and freaking and Wu talking, that felt like that was silly sitcom bull crap. And this, this okay. We're back to cinematic now. And I'm sorry, the stark difference in the writing is ridiculous.
Ooh, and this is supposed to be just a fun action one, and it's already got me
way
interested.
deeper.
Way deeper.
I wish this would have been the first thing that came out.
Instead of WandaVision.
Yeah.
I think it was a mistake. I would have said WandaVision much later. Even though I know WandaVision was below average, this felt like a movie. I was in this show. Yeah. I was in it.
There's only one part where I thought, like, they're going to do what they can do, and they do exactly how it's going to turn out, which is stupid, and it's not.
It wasn't necessary.
Here's the thing. I could have done them. When we get to it, I'll rewrite the scene and make it better. But they did it literally in the dumbest way you can possibly think of. But everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, everything else was great.
So we open up and, we see Sam getting ready. He's ironing his shirt. He's going to go to something. I'm like, okay, was he going to a funeral? Is he going to a wedding? What is he going to something? He needs to look nice. Uh-huh. So then you kind of hear them talking about, Captain America. What does it mean? Because remember, Steve gave him the shield at the end. Yeah. Yep. And he said, it's yours. But he keeps thinking, it was like, what did it feel like?
It belongs to someone else.
It feels like it belongs to somebody else. And that's something because that's a heavy as the shield, and he doesn't want it because he didn't feel like I can live up to what Steve
They actually replayed the audio part of him talking to Steve.
It's such a touching moment because he gives a great speech about it too, and it's like, because it's hard, if you become Captain America, that's a big mantle that you're taking upon yourself.
Yeah,
and Steve did it.
Yeah,
and then he just did it.
Exactly,
and the funny thing is when he would do the Captain America things. Those were the easy things for him to do. It was just he just does it.
He just does it.
I was like in the Avengers when it was freaking Thor and Hulk were down there and everything, and he just jumps in the middle of it and he doesn't care because he's Captain America. And these are gods and giant monsters, and he's like, I'm gonna go in there and do it because I'm Captain America.
Yeah, he was just so bad at it. No matter what, it was Thor, Iron Man, and all Loki down there, and then even Black Widow was like,
those are two gods.
Two gods, and he's like, I don't care.
He's like, I know who God is, and it's not those two guys.
Yeah, he doesn't dress like that.
Yeah, just and that's a tough thing to pick up because Sam is just worried about a lot of things. And the thing is, Sam's not a super soldier either.
No.
So he's just a guy.
Yeah.
And so it's tough for him. I mean, look at his face. He can see that he's thinking about all these things. And it's just like, what do I do with this damn thing?
And it's so funny when you think about what you were saying. Like, it was easy to be Captain America or him. For Falcon, it's easy to be a regular person. It's being the superhero. He's going to have a hard time with Captain
Steve
America.
had a problem being just Steve and not Captain America.
Yeah.
So super cool. I like that. Already in the very beginning, I'm good to go. I like the way it looked. Yeah. And just the cinematography is movie-like. Yeah, it's very, very good. So then we get the opener, and then we see a big old AC-130 cargo plane flying. We're thinking, okay, is this in the past? Because remember how we
did some missions.
But no, it's modern times.
Yeah.
And he's getting, some guy got kidnapped. There's the evil organization. People are taking over, they're hijacking military vehicles. But we need to go in and get out. We're involved, Yeah. So send in one guy, Sam. And if they get across the border, or we have to break engagement. So, okay, I can go in there. I can figure this out. Okay, very cool. And this is just full-blown action movie.
Oh, it's awesome.
This would be the climax action scene in a movie. Yeah. Where, he had to go save the guy.
If it was like a Mission Impossible. That's what kind of or like a crazy spy movie. This is how cool this was.
So he jumps out and does his wings. He looks so cool. The wings are great. I love the way Falcon
Special effects are amazing.
Yes.
But then we get this guy on the ground, and he's like, okay, Sam, and he almost seems a little too like, well, there he is in the sky. He's so cool.
A little excited. Yeah.
I was thinking, oh God, is there, because he talks a lot during this, like the back of him, like, oh, he's gonna be like a character. So he does end up being like a character in the story.
When they say someone in the military's a little green, this guy's beyond a little green. Yeah, he's like really fresh. Green, like, jeez.
Get a little too excited. Yeah. So he's like getting him like, okay, they're tracking the plane, they're doing it from the ground, he's in the air. And I do like how like Sam like jumps on the plane and then he kind of crawls into like the window and takes a little peek. Hey, what's in there? And he sees like their pilots.
Oh, that's okay. They took over already.
They already hijacked the thing. It's so stupid because he's still looking through the windshield and the pilot sees him like, oh, he's like, there's a man out there, and then the guy
just like, in the back of the head. You're stupid. There's no man up there.
There's a man on the wing.
You're being stupid.
So he has to go in there. Okay, they already killed another pilot. He scans it, sees they're beating up another guy. Like that's the person he's supposed to, I guess, save. So he has to get in there now. Mm-hmm. He's using his little red Falcon, his little robot buddy. And in the comics, it's like a real bird, but in this one, it's a
little robot.
There's a lot of things that they had like technology. Let's just do that. Yeah. It's gonna be
so
silly.
It goes in there and flies, and it cuts the door open, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's just an action movie. Yeah. It's cool. Mission Impossible, cool action film.
Goes in there and just kicks butt. I love it.
Okay, one thing you have to be safe, Falcon doesn't mind killing people. Like, wow, I'm actually seeing
there's like people die.
Yeah.
People getting shot. People getting thrown out of planes with no parachutes.
Yeah.
And then
I saw their parachutes.
And I also noticed the reason why he's probably not using guns, because if any trace, they'll know. They'll know, like, hey, this is shot by its own.
Isn't it just awesome when he uses his wings as a shield?
Oh, yeah.
I love the way that looks. It's so cool.
That's so cool. That is cool.
So he's beating up all the dudes, and some guy starts shooting at him, and then Ricochet ends up killing the other pilot. So it starts to, like, dip down. Whatever. But again, modern plane is going to go in autopilot. I thought this was a super cool move. He grabs the guy, then he thrusts his wings so he gets extra speed, and boom, and slams him against the wall.
Oh, knocks him out.
So instead of having extra strength, he used his technology with, just kind of like...
Oh, that would hurt.
That was cool. Yeah. That was a pretty cool move.
That was a cool...
If that guy's not dead, he's going to have one bad headache.
If this was like really rated R, that guy's neck would have been...
Yeah. But yeah, they're killing people and everything. They're still tracking it. Hey, it's still making its way towards the border. You get the... So I guess there was other people on the plane. They're getting all suited up in wingsuits. They grab that guy and they all jump out. So like, I'm going after him. So now we have a canyon action scene, just nonstop action scenes, like set piece from set piece. And this is just in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's those little flying suits you can wear in real life.
Yeah,
wingsuits. It's really scary.
So they're basically having like a wing race through the canyons. Yeah. And here's the thing: Falcon's wings are mechanical, so you can slow down and speed up. These guys are stuck in a glide.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they hit one wrong turn, they're gonna run into those rocks, man, and that's it. Goodbye.
It's a cool looking scene. I really love the way it looks. But then there's helicopters down there. They're shooting at missiles at them and everything, and guns. I'm like, I was thinking, is this some type of like simulation or something? But it's obviously it's real. But I was,
and it gets those helicopters on the side of those the guys.
The back
that was the point why they went down the canyon, because it's ambush.
They're gonna trap them with these.
Yeah. And they end up going into one of the helicopters.
Yeah, he goes in there, he's fighting the dudes, and it's just, this whole stuff is just awesome. He calls out Falcon, his red, get out there, get these, there's cussing, but it's not too bad.
It's natural, which is okay with
if I was getting shot at with guys with machine guns, and if he said the S or F, it's, I wouldn't say it.
It's not like just this, mother, I don't need that.
And and his little Falcon buddy has like missiles in him.
Yeah, he has everything. He's all set up.
So he's destroying those other helicopters.
Yeah, so we both the helicopters, those guys are dead.
Yeah. They didn't jump out.
So there's like a ton of these things. These people, whoever this guy they're trying to kidnap must be pretty damn important. Because
I thought that was weird.
They had like 4 or 5 helicopters.
Well, he was just a captain, so he must have had something.
He must have information
that they need.
So they keep fighting. The bad guys get him into a helicopter. Okay, they think they got away with them. But I do love this whole scene where he's like, "Where's he at?" And Sam's like sitting in the helicopter with him because he like got stuck in there. He's like, "So what's going on, guys?" He's just kind of like in there. So he's fighting these dudes and everything, and I'm like, this is just like, it's a little fantastic, a little too fantastic, because so he blew up that other helicopter, got in this helicopter, blows his helicopter up, the other guy jumps out with him, and he ends up in another helicopter. Like, holy crap. This guy, what are they playing? A helicopter leapfrog?
Yeah. I think they're also trying to maybe show that he's an Avenger. This guy is not,
he's highly trained. I mean, with this, but basically you have to think, when he's in his Falcon suit with the wings, it's an extension of his body.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just part of him.
He's so natural in it now.
So he's like, jumps out of that helicopter, blows it up. Those guys don't deserve to live anymore. And he's like, getting really close to the border. You have to be able to stop this guy. And of course, he's not going to give up. Even though I think even if it would have made it across the board, he would have went there and tried to save him.
He would have get it anyways. Even if it had been like half a mile, he'd have been in there.
So I thought this was freaking super cool. So they're flying through there. He's getting shot at and everything, and he finally gets to that other helicopter, and they shot missiles at him, so they're chasing him. So he's bringing the missiles back very every single time you see this. He didn't even do it with like in DC with the Omega beams. You track him back to the guy who shot him. Frieza, you bring back the freaking this thingies. So I'm like, what's he gonna do? And then I remember you were saying like, oh, he's gonna just dive through, capture the guy, and then the missiles are gonna come behind him and boom and wipe out the dudes.
I think he was waiting for the lock on, so they would be perfectly tracking him. So then they'll go right into the helicopter.
Just so people know, when missiles are shot at something, they don't have to touch you.
No.
They get close and blow up, and that's enough.
What happens? Sometimes they open, split apart, and then bunch of little things.
Yeah, it's like all the shrapnel and the explosion. So a lot of times in movies and stuff like that, like, oh, the missile literally has to make physical contact. That isn't true.
It gets close. Like what, a quarter of a mile?
No, just say it's about 20, 30, 40 feet, but enough that concussion will cause damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those missiles would have blew up and killed them. But whatever, it's fun. It's movie. And that guy's like, whoa, super cool, bro.
I know. He's a little much, but...
And literally, he was only like inches away from the border of Libya. Like, he was right there.
Yeah. Gaddafi! So, they saved him. Everything's good. Mission accomplished. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Then we get to...
Tunisia,
and then it jumps around a lot from like country to country to country. Because we don't know when Sam and... Bucky meet up because they don't. They get their own separate stories in this one episode, but they don't meet up.
Yeah, they haven't met up yet.
So, we see some guys they're in a marketplace and they're talking like, oh, it's that guy. And it's like, it's him and Sam or, after mission. They're going to... And this guy just seems a little...
The problem is, I don't mind him he's super loud, and this is like a Middle Eastern country. You shouldn't, when you're a foreigner, especially being a foreigner American, I'd be a little quiet.
And a soldier.
And a soldier.
You need to be quiet.
And you're working with Falcon, which is an Avenger, and also maybe doing secret stuff that people are not supposed to know.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the street market and being super loud. Like, come on, guys, it's the Middle East. You want to keep it kind of like low profile.
And he keeps like taking pictures, and I'm like, dude, like you can't take pictures.
But
you're not a tourist.
But remember, it had the hand symbol because they'd use like augment reality to like recruit people.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's these guys called the Flag Smashers, and I like how it sounds like, well, the biggest crime is having a stupid name. It's like that's where it goes. But I guess I hate the word the blip. I just think it's stupid. Yeah. I'm just saying when everyone was gone, the snap sounds so much better.
Yeah.
But it's stupid. Yeah. Because people were dusted away. People didn't. If people would have out of existence and someone called it the blip, I would understand. But people turned to dust and floated away. Someone to be called dusted or something, not blip.
There's something I want to say about that. When Sony first came up with that name, the blip, do you guys honestly think that Marvel was stuck with it, so they had to use it, or did they make them have that?
They said that in Spider-Man.
So maybe did they force their hand, a little bit on that?
Whatever, it's stupid. I don't like it at all. But they're like, when the world was all in chaos, these people really like that. And they believe in no borders, no flags, just one giant globalism.
Yeah,
country. You think if all those 5 years they would have had the time to get a little more powerful than
I think they like the chaos. They didn't want there to be a head.
Yeah,
that's true. I feel like they wanted that weird.
They were fighting for the freedom of Side 3. But it was just that they wanted everything to be like its own. Everyone's in one giant independent state.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep fighting for that. And now since everyone came back, there's been some more unification where people are like, oh, they're starting to side
big alliances,
and they don't like that. They want there just to be the one global race.
Exactly. Very interesting.
A lot of people want that now, and they're the bad guys. Keep that in mind when you think about that. They're the bad guys.
Globalists, yes.
So they're like talking and everything, and so like, okay, we're going to be taking on these guys. Like, hey, keep your ear to the ground. If you know anything, let me know. So I guess this guy's like not necessarily like an infantryman. He's like an intelligence guy.
Yeah.
But he's way too
I was worried that this guy was going to be a bad guy. I don't think he is, but it just seems...
He seems way interested in this when he...
Do you think he turns? Because he doesn't... by the end of this, you're like, okay, he's a straight up good guy. He's helping Sam. But do you think maybe halfway down the line he turns?
Or do you think these people may have like a mind control thing?
Or they influence him or something?
Who knows? That's a good point.
So, they get that out of conversation, and then we get to the... I guess... It's like a Captain America ceremonial thing. And
almost
Sam's
like a eulogy, kind of.
Yeah, almost. And he's talking about, how Steve embodied the Captain America and what it was and everything that he meant. And, we're in a different time, so we need new heroes. And Rhodey's there. And because they all knew Steve.
Yeah.
And they had the shield, and it's like, you need someone to carry it, but it belongs to someone else, and that someone else was Steve. He donates it to the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
But,
I respect it, but at the same time, the man gave you the shield.
For the reason.
He gave it to you.
Because you could be the next Captain America.
He gave it to you. You don't be... I give you a gift. You ain't returning it to the Smithsonian.
I say this. You may feel unworthy, but he saw something in you that you don't see yet.
Yeah. He wouldn't have done it if he didn't believe in you.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gave it to you if he didn't.
But can we just talk about the framing? Look at the giant Captain America looking down on him, so he just feels that shadow of Captain America over him, and it just the cinematography and the way they shot this episode is so good. There's so many moments where, especially with Bucky, where the camera's just kind of off tilt. And it's really close because his mind's fractured at the moment. So, but here, look at that giant, impressive Captain America staring down on me.
Yeah. And it's so funny because everyone else says, it's just an honor to him. Look at that nice banner. But the Falcon, Sam, it's like, oh my goodness.
It's that giant shadow looming over me.
It's in my weight on
How do I live up to that? So his way of escaping that is just donating it.
Passing the mantle.
Well, but at the same time, like you said, it's getting a gift, but it's getting a gift from Captain America. That's what makes it even more.
Are you doing this? Are you doing this for Steve, or are you doing this so you don't have to?
So you don't have to.
I think it's a whole lot of it so I don't have to.
No, what's the problem? He doesn't mind being a hero. No. He just doesn't want to be Captain America the hero. That's what's so interesting about that.
Because like you said, it takes a lot. Right now with the whole everyone disappearing, coming back, you have to unite the nation. And
he doesn't want that responsibility.
That's a symbol. Tough. That's a symbol. You have to.
Then that one, the Secretary of Defense, you did the right thing, Sam. I'm like, oh god, this guy's gonna get
it. The way he said it, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, it's like an older, like kind of like right curmudgeon, old, what'd you think of an old politician?
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
It's all dumb.
Shut the hell up.
I know, right?
Nah, I don't like that.
But then Brody's like, hey, come. Let's go take a walk. So I guess they're walking. And again, just like this whole scene, they're talking about Steve and what it means. They're walking through the Captain America museum thing. Yeah. So you see all the great things that Steve did. And it's just, I want to be a hero. I don't want to be his hero, but America needs you. But is that what America needs right now? Do they need a symbol? The guy who wears a flag, do they even want that anymore? I say yes.
Yes, always.
Well, even if they don't, you got to do it.
I thought the scene and all the memorabilia they showed. I love the fact when they went on the wall, you saw the original first Captain America comic when he punches Hitler.
Well, he has all the war stuff that was all like,
It was so funny because they probably would have comic books of Captain America even in their world.
I love that bike. That bike so freaking cool, man! It's badass. But then Rhodey's talking to him. And he's like, Steve did give it to you.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh no, and then they have that conversation. Look how they're standing in front of all those pictures.
Yeah, that's the one.
With buy war bonds and all that kind of stuff. All the things that Steve did, and they go when they see like the final Avengers suit and with the thing, it's just like.
And he has the shield right there.
I love it. God, I love that look. It's such a good look.
I almost wish there was a Steve Rogers Museum. I would love to go to Captain America Museum.
But like I said, it still goes back. Steve saw something in you, and
do you just love the shield and you see his reflection and he's standing there? God, I love the way this looks. There's so many poster moments. That is a poster moment right there.
It's funny. I love this story arc of like, it's like almost like the man becoming king, where he's like, this is your lineage and you have to do this. And the man's like scared, but it's like, no, this is meant for you.
But I love what Rhoda kept saying, are you sure you want to do this? You sure you don't want to be Captain America?
And then he's like, but I'll be in touch. We all have each other. We're all Avengers. We can all talk to each other. I think very human moments for superheroes.
Yeah.
Because he is just a man.
Yeah.
And also, not to be weird, is that the Avengers right now are probably a little fractured after everything fighting. If he becomes the Captain America, he can unite the Avengers.
You rally to the shield.
The thing,
exactly.
And you have to remember, this is after WandaVision too. So Wanda did her thing. He knows about that. So he has to.
So again,
this is Avengers together.
It's almost like he needs to do this. He needs to have that rallying banner, and no better banner than that shield.
We need an Avengers Assemble.
Yep. Do we get that? I would love that. The end of this series.
No, he's just to put the shield on and strap it on and like Avengers Assemble. He's just.
How cool would it be if, like, at the end, like, it's just him and he actually calls that out and, like, sends out a thing to all Avengers, like, we need you here. And then, of course, battling, and they all show up. Oh, it'd be sick.
I mean, just show me a second of Spider-Man. I'd be happy with that.
We'll see, but again, they didn't do anything in WandaVision.
I know.
Former Avengers freaking took over the whole town and everything. Do you think any of the other Avengers might want to show up and help us? Well, of course not. We'll send Dibbly Doop Douchebag to go take care of it.
And that's the problem. Like, again, are we hyping ourselves up too much?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But so far, this episode's been dynamite.
Then we get some other play. Like, okay, where the hell is this? Looks like a foreign country. What's going on? And we see some kind of like, I'm like, oh, these bad guys are these good? Because they look like bad guys. They're like bodyguards, whatever. Then we see a metal arm busts through the wall. I'm like, oh, it's Bucky. But I'm like, I guess he's on a mission or whatever. But he looks like classic Winter Soldier because his arm was silver and had the red star. I'm like, oh, this must be the past. So he's on kill mission. He's killing people. I'm like, oh, damn. And he's wearing like that, the one with the mask and everything. So it's like the classic Winter Soldier, the one that fought Captain America.
Yeah.
And so he's killing all these people and everything. And it's, no mercy.
No mercy. At the end, he says, Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
So you know he's Hydra.
We're like, oh, this must be the past. Then we see some dude who had nothing to do with nothing, just so happened to be there. And he's like trying to open up his door. And he's like fumbling with the keys.
And then
like,
he looks back.
And he looks at it. He's like, I didn't see anything. And he pulls out a gun and boom, he wakes up.
He did that all wrong.
So he killed. But what can you do when you're? Here's the thing: when the fists start flying, the bullets start going, you have no idea what you're gonna do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can train, you can acclimate yourself to violence, but when it goes down, you have no idea how you're gonna react.
And it's so sad he would have lived because before that they wanted to all go out to dinner together and he didn't want to.
No.
Yeah.
If he did, he would have lived. He'd have left.
He'd have been leaving as he was coming in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sucks. So I'm like, yeah, I guess he's gonna, have that. Again, you see the faces of all the people you killed.
Yeah, of course.
Because remember, he told Tony that. He's like, I remember everyone I killed.
Remember, they gave him that memory, too, so he's a phonetic memory, so it makes it even worse.
Which is really screwed up.
Yeah.
Remember.
And then, like you said,
they died.
And he's having some issues here, because he's not sleeping in his bed. He's sleeping in the corner of his house.
Yeah, like on the floor.
Yeah.
Like
and the TV left on.
And kind of like in a prone position, almost. Like he's like... But again, though, when you're an assassin, that's probably... You're always worried.
He's in the morning, we hear a woman's voice. So, have you had another nightmare? I'm like, oh, he's in psychiatry. He's doing his thing. And don't you just love this angle? This downward close-up angle? Because we don't get to see his full face because he doesn't know who he is. Mm-hmm. He's fractured. So as the viewer, we see a fractured man. I love the cinematography in this episode.
I would say this cinematography reminds me of like when you go see a preacher for confession.
Yeah.
You see the face when you go
super
into the box.
Close.
Super close. That's what it is.
And then with her, she looks distant. Because there's a gap between these two. Because she knows he's lying. Because I've been doing this long enough with you, James, that I know that you've had nightmares. Now tell me about the nightmares. There's no nightmares. I haven't had any nightmares.
And then she takes out her pen and starts writing, and it takes them off. Like, oh, you're writing again.
Bringing out the paper again.
If you're not talking, I'm going to write.
Bucky's shot with that angle is almost like a comic book shot.
It's very like a comic book angle.
If you're having a conversation, remember how they always say, oh, you got to make it interesting. You can't just have a straight on, like... And that's when they make the weird angles.
Make it dynamic.
But at the same time, look at this plain shot of him like sitting in the woods or in the background. Like lost in the woods.
It's weird. It's lost in the woods and also almost like calm chaos.
Yeah.
Like everything around him is like, oh, everything's calm and good, but inside he just has this turmoil.
But then he's like, well, okay, I know you're lying about the nightmares, but what else have you been doing, James? Well, I took another one off the list. We were following the rules, aren't we? Of course I'm following the rules. I'm like, okay, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, what are the rules?
And he talks about, there was a lady he got into power.
When he worked for Hydra.
When he worked for Hydra. Then after Hydra disbanded, she started pushing for more power. And he's like, okay, I'm going to take this lady out. I'm like, oh, he's going to kill her? But there's all the different rules. Like, you have to, you're a private citizen now, so you have to, like, basically do, like, a citizen's arrest. Yes. You can't hurt anyone. You can't kill anybody. And I do like the fact that, but what was the first rule was you get to make sure not to do anything illegal. Then the second rule is don't hurt anybody, and that's super really important. It's like, how come it's not the first rule?
Yeah, that should be the first rule, right?
And she's looking at him like, James.
Well, it also goes back to his nature. I feel like he doesn't want to trust anyone.
But remember, he had a set of rules when he went to go do his missions. Remember when they would read off all those words, and he had a certain way he had to do things. And I feel like, so is he being kind of done dirty again by another government?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's why I think he doesn't trust.
No.
He has...
But funny, they would go back to the very thing that they used for instructions, how to do a certain way.
Yeah. So he goes in there and, he takes over the lady's car. So locks the door and, like, drives. I'm like, oh, at first I thought he was going to make it look like it was a car accident.
Yeah.
But no, he kind of, like, parks her in his spot. Then he walks up to the thing and you remember me? The way he says it. Yeah. And, like, the guy tries to shoot him, but he just, like, just knocks him out. And he's like... I'm no longer the Winter Soldier. My name's Bucky, and he's like, I have to make things right now.
Yeah, that's the third thing he has to do. Yeah.
So then the cops come, they get her. So he did everything by the book, and it's like normally, if you, let's say you were a bad person and you robbed people and then you got to do those affirmations of like, I got to make it right.
Yeah.
So you find all the people you robbed, then you like give them money. It's like, he's doing his own version of My Name's Earl, but like a sack with an assassin.
I'm about to say Earl. There you go. That's
very, very, very similar, and it's kind of funny that
I love
way.
it.
Yeah.
Because he did it in the like, nicest way. Hello, my name's James. Hello, I'm Bucky. Hey, everybody.
I'm Bucky now, so.
I don't kill people no more. So
I'd have been old Winter Soldier. Those two would have been dead.
So that's like when he was at this, the only time where he felt like he was doing something. But then we get these close-ups again where it's like, okay, what about, any of the nightmares? And he's like, no, I remember I told you no nightmares. And he keeps saying that, but he's obviously having nightmares because he freaking saw it.
And she starts writing again.
And then he starts writing in a book. I hate when he writes in that book. He's like, gets all like irritated with her. But then we find out that she was a soldier too. She was in the military. She's like, I know. When you see enough dead bodies and you see enough people getting hurt.
Because he tried to make the BS answer of like, I just want peace. And then she goes, no.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, there goes, that's a lie. Because you wouldn't be going around doing that thing in your book if you honestly truly wanted peace. Because you're free. You don't have to do that. But you're still doing it.
You're still doing it. It's interesting too because they didn't have any therapy for soldiers until World War II.
Oh yeah, but it was almost like, oh, get over it, be a man.
Yeah, so it was interesting that he's going through this,
and he's like that. He's like, I'm 109 years old. This is all new to me.
Yeah, and he goes, okay, nothing. Give me your phone. I want to get your phone real quick.
Oh, you have friendships and you have connections. So of course I do. Give me your phone. Prove it.
Yeah.
You have 10 numbers in your contacts list. You haven't called anyone but me. And anyone who's tried to call you, you ignored.
Sam's been calling you several times and you ignored him.
This is the interesting
That's your
part.
real friend.
It's like, well, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Is Steve really dead? Because would Steve leave him hanging like that?
I swear, because at the end of the day, he was old, but he wasn't ready to die.
No, he wasn't. That's why.
Was he Luke Skywalker and he faded right after getting the shield? He disappeared?
Somehow he disintegrates. How did that happen?
Because that would break my heart if Steve was just like not calling him.
But maybe it's that whole thing. I have to let you be your own man, your own hero.
Oh my gosh! Do we get a scene of Old Man Rogers in a hospital and Bucky sees him and he dies?
He goes in there and
I don't think they could do it. They can't.
Oh my gosh!
To the end of the line.
To the
end of the line.
To the end of the line.
To the end of the line.
How he did it for Peggy, and now he's gonna do it to him. Oh gosh!
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It would be.
Dead Rogers.
Also, what I like about this, I love how since Sam's been gone for 5 years and he's been like going through all this, they're both like men at a time.
Yeah.
Which is like how Steve was in the beginning.
And I think the one person that could understand that the most is now gone.
It's now
gone. For all intents and purposes.
Yeah, we don't know if he's officially gone yet, but yeah.
So we get another jump. We're in the city now, and we have these two guys kind of arguing. This young guy's like throwing away trash, and the old man's like, "Hey, get your trash out of my trash." Well, yours is pretty empty. Why don't we just share? But again, you pay for your trash can, so I don't want some young punk using my trash can when I pay for it. So they're kind of jawing at each other.
I'm sure this happens in New York City more often than we want to realize.
But then Bucky shows up. Hey, let's calm down. It's fine. Come on. We're supposed to go get lunch. Oh, I don't want to get lunch. So I guess he's friends with this old man. And he's like, come on, we always go to this place on Wednesdays. And he's like, what if I pay? But no talking. Of course he pays for it. Everyone's taking free lunch, right?
Yeah.
So they get to this place. It's a Japanese place. And then, they're ordering their food. There's sushi and everything. And I thought this was pretty funny. There's a girl behind the counter. She's pretty cute.
Yeah.
And then the old man's like, you should totally ask her out. And it's like, old man, you're being really loud. And he's like, hey, my friend wants to ask you out. I was like, oh, God, old man. Why are you doing this to me? Don't embarrass me like that.
I forgot, what did he say? Something weird, like...
Because they're like, oh, maybe you can go do this, and then I guess there's some game. It's called like Pinnacle or something like
Pinnacle,
that.
You can play bingo or something.
Yeah, he wants to take you to bingo. He ain't that... He's an old man, but he ain't that damn old. Then she's like, oh, yeah, sure. Then Bucky's like, oh, God, please. And then it's funny because the old man's conducting the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's like, well, to let him know that I get off at like 9 or whatever, and he looks over at him like, I hooked you up, bro.
Yeah. I heard wingman.
Yeah, we all need a Mr. What's it? Nakinyama? Old man. We need an old man to give me the hookups. So he's like, oh, jeez. He goes, and because he asks him, you haven't dated anyone like this. It's like, I'm trying to get back into life and just in relationships. He's like, I just don't really want this. He goes, but Bucky didn't say no.
Did he tell her, like, I haven't been dancing since...
Yeah, he's like, oh, dancing. He's going to have danced since 1943.
Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. Like she thinks, oh, you're just being exaggerating. No, he's literally being literal.
Then the old man's like... Then he sees some, the mochi on the table. And he's like, my son loved the mochi with the red bean.
Red mochi.
Yeah. And he's like, I never knew he was studying abroad. And... he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah,
I know is my son went over and he died. Then we all stopped and said, "Holy crap! Is that the guy he freaking killed?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Yes, that is."
Because why? It's weird that Winter Soldier would have a friend like this. It's just out of character.
Like some crazy, just some old man that he knew.
Because he feels guilty.
One old man in the weird, like New York, of all New York, he picked this one guy. Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" It's because look how sad Bucky looks when he said it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know this guy's son. I'm like, or did he? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, the thing is, this is when you did it when he was under the control, but he doesn't see it that way.
And also, how are you going to explain that to him?
You old man, I was under mind control. I killed your old baby. So
just keep that to yourself. That just would be best.
So this must be we thought, oh, is he trying to replace his son, be his friend, do something? But that must be the turmoil and the raging storm that's going on inside of Bucky right now.
But it's so good.
Is I wouldn't want to ever have to feel that way. Oh, I killed your kid, but it really wasn't my fault, but I still did it. Let me try to be your friend to make up for it. Oh my God, it's awful.
What can you do? It's just a messed up situation.
I love the juxtapose between the two. It's awesome with Falcon and them. Like they're both going through things.
Problems different.
Yeah.
So we get back to Sam. He's driving some beat up old freaking like Dodge. I'm thinking the Avengers got no money. Pepper Potts isn't dead, right?
No.
So she owns Stark Industries. Hook a brother up. Yeah, I don't know what to say. At least give me a new freaking car.
We're not saying a Lamborghini, but how about a Hummer or something a little nicer?
Or even the military at this point.
It just blows my mind that no one's Stark is so rich. He's not like, oh, I own a couple car dealerships rich. I have government contracts all over the world effing rich. And he cannot hook up these other people in the Avengers, at least where their businesses and stuff are paid for.
Especially the ones that are humans that are living on Earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
So I don't get that. It's stupid, and that leads into everything else with Sam. But I do love the fact that he heads back home, getting down to Louisiana. Yeah. And there's like a fishing boat. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Maybe he knows these people. He pulls up, and it's Uncle Sam. I love that.
Yeah, I know. They keep saying, Uncle Sam.
It's Uncle Sam, baby. Do what you can for me. Yeah. So he shows up, and there's this other woman, and they're kind of jawing a little bit, like, oh, they must be family. That's his sister.
Okay.
And I guess they own a fishing boat. Mm-hmm. And it was the mom and dad's, and they died, and now it's theirs. And the sister's been running this whole thing while he was gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, he was dead.
Yeah, he was disappeared. He was gone. He was dusted. And so she feels like, I'm taking care of this. I don't need you to come in here and try to save me. Take the help.
Yeah.
And this isn't just help from some random dude. This is your brother. Mm-hmm. So it's different.
Yeah.
But he's there, and the thing is, he's military. So he's by the books. Let's go to this. We can take out a loan. We can do this. We can fix the boats. He doesn't want to sell it because it was mom and dad's, and she wants to sell it. Yeah. So there we go. We got that family conflict. She wants to sell it and move on. He's like, but if we do that, we're losing what mom and dad had. But again, love people, not things. The boat's a thing.
A thing.
A business is a thing.
But you know what he's seen? He's seen legacy.
Yeah.
But again, though, isn't he struggling personally with another legacy?
Yeah.
He's trying not to.
A Captain America legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love it. It's great.
So is he distracting himself with this?
I'll deal with this. I don't have to deal with the Captain America crap.
Yeah.
And then I love it. I don't know if I was a family member. This little guy goes, I told you, I thought you were going to give me the wings. Hell, man, you're going to kill yourself.
Oh my God.
You have a heart attack just flying around. That's funny.
So that's cool. There's the conflict. Coming back home, I want to help. Sister is resistant to the help. She wants to move on.
Because she said, I try to get loans.
But Sam wants to hold on to legacy.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand. So they're on the boat and they're talking about it. They didn't want to talk about it in front of people, but Sam wants to get down to business. What are we going to do next? And the sister's still being really resilient about it. He's like, hey, but before you didn't have me. Because they're going to know who I am. And they're going to, help us. Yeah. Which does help. That does mean a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. But then I was like the fact that she kind of hits him. And he's like, ow.
Because he's like,
don't hit me.
I think he said something to the point like, well, you took out those bank loans.
Yeah, you mortgaged the house.
Mortgaged the house.
And now everything's tied into this. And then she kind of like got all snooty and pissed off.
But it's true.
And then he's like, okay, just don't hit me again.
No, stop punching me.
But he's like, come on. We can consolidate everything. Bring everything down. Bring the payments down. And since I'm military, the FCC, whatever, the special loan programs, he's like, we can do this. Oh, always got to be the hero. Always got to come in and save things. He's like, I'm always going to do that. Yeah. I'm never not going to do that.
Exactly. And that's not a bad trait.
And then she also said that when you went to the military, you left me with mom and dad, and I had to fix everything. Well, you went to damn military. He's a freaking hero. Go to hell.
Exactly.
He's not like I ran around in a van and smoked weed and lived in the forest for 5 years. No, he was in freaking military. He was in the damn Air Force.
Oh, the thing is, I can see you could be frustrated, but you're misplacing that frustration.
She's also being judgmental.
Yes.
Also, maybe not to being a little jealous, not in the fact that he's a superhero, but he got to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And now she feels like I was always tied here.
Yeah.
Almost like A Wonderful Life with.
I got stuck in this little town because all the decisions every other else people made.
Yep, exactly.
But Sam's gonna come on. Let's go down to the bank. We can make this work. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's nice. So he's gonna try to work this out for my family. Like, but as soon as it started mentioning, let me guess.
This is the weakest part of the whole episode.
Yeah, that whole concept. Yeah. Get back to Bucky. Shows up at the restaurant. She's getting off of work, and he goes in there. I guess it's gonna be like their little date. It's cute. They sit down. They start talking, and he's drinking a beer. And it's funny because he's really truthful. Like a little too truthful, because they're talking about things, and he's kind of talking. She's like, "Oh man, you sound like my dad," and he's like, and she's like, "How old are you?" He's like, "I'm 109 years old," and she just laughs, but he ain't lying. He is 109 years old.
You know what? A question. I think that would be a big turnoff. You sound like my dad. I don't want to sound like your father. Okay,
or is that a major turn on?
Or you have daddy issues.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I love it. And then she goes, "Okay, well, I got to do. I got to get something." Like, what is she getting? Like for the second night.
Every moment, I keep thinking someone's gonna turn on him and try to kill him
because he's an assassin. You don't think anyone wants revenge against him?
I'm wondering even Bucky at that moment is thinking, "Okay, what's she getting for that second?"
Pull out a gun.
I know. What is this?
She pulls out a board game, an old Battleship board
like,
game.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna just play Battleship. I like your style. Nice cheap date. I had to pay for nothing.
And
we're drinking your beers at your restaurant. That's perfect. I don't have to pay for anything now.
So they're playing and they're talking. They're going back and forth. And they seem to be bouncing off each other a little bit. Bucky deserves to have someone nice in his life. Yes. This lady's cute.
Yeah, maybe start out like even as a friend. He just needs someone to talk to.
Someone having his phone to call or something.
But then she's like, "What's up with that glove? You're always wearing that glove all the time." He's like, "Oh, I have a poor circulation."
Yeah, you want to see my arm? It's all metal.
He tries to paint it like skin color.
Check this out. But then she's like, "You know what? I think it's so sweet that you're friends with Mr. Nakamura, that old man."
Them all.
And he's like, "But man, ever since he lost his son, he just hasn't been the same. And when you came along, it was so much nicer for him. But he wouldn't have to done that if it wasn't for him."
And then
it just kind of hits him. He's like, "You know what? I gotta go. I have to go somewhere."
So I didn't like the fact he left her hanging.
He just left her like that, and he just kind of rushes out of there. I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't nice."
I know.
But he has all this crap going on.
Yeah. There's just too much going on for him to have a relationship. Yeah. It's just too much.
And then remember when he even had his therapy session early on, he talked about the only time he fell to pieces in Wakanda briefly.
Yeah, because he was living like in a hut.
Yeah,
when he was the White Wolf.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
That was a cool nickname. I like that.
God, that armor is so cool looking. Yeah, because now it's vibranium now.
Tough. Yeah.
So, is anyone just absolutely love this shot with the blue light? Blue light. And because this blue, dark, oppressive light that's on his soul. Look how dark he is compared to the rest of the room.
Oh, it's at the contrast. And then when he goes to the door and you see the old man, oh God, don't tell him.
He goes, is he going to tell him he killed his son? Oh my God, please don't tell him he's going to kill his son. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? It's really late." And he's just looking and he looks over and he sees that he has a little shrine for his son.
Yep.
So that knows that was him.
And he confirms that,
and he's like, "Oh, here's that money for lunch earlier." But then he already paid. But as an old man, he probably forgot.
He forgot to get the money. Then he's also like, "Hey, how did the date go?" That's all he wanted.
Yeah, the old man's like, "Oh, so his day." He's like, "Oh, it was fine." And this is for lunch earlier. And then he walks away. So I guess another one thinks he wants to tell him the truth. But right now, let's take a vote. Should he tell him? I say no.
No. He's an old man.
What's it gonna do for this old man except for break his freaking heart?
Oh, if this guy was like guy was in his 40s and had a wife and kids. No, he's by himself.
But the old man says, "I want to know how he died and why he died."
This is how I would write it. He could pretend and say, "Hey, I'm government. I got the files. He was shot.
He was killed by an assassin that was killing other people."
So at least he would know.
He would know.
And the way you have to remember, he's kind of like a son for him now. You know what I'm saying?
And,
you can't.
And one more piece of information: that assassin was me.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs away.
He just takes off.
Oh wow!
And I come to finish the job. He shoots still, man.
He's like, "Your son died like this." He pulls up the gun and shoots him.
You want to know how he died? I'll show you. Oh god.
No, because that would just break his heart. Like.
And then he gets to his listening, knocks on into the blue lighting, which is cool.
Yeah. But that's that. It's that cold, oppressive. The past leans on him so much.
Exactly. But what was he marking off his list?
No, that was him. He was circling it because he doesn't know how do you cross that off.
Because remember when he got rid of that senator lady, that was the thing. He crossed it off because he got her arrested. But what about this guy?
You can't.
You kill him.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Like you said, do you cross him out when he dies?
I know how you can go meet your son right now.
But he circles it, and that's why he's staring at it.
Be his friend.
Be
his friend for as long as you can, and be there for him.
The thing is, he's an older guy. He probably doesn't have much left. Just be there when you can, like you said.
That's about it.
get back to Sam, and they're putting some food together. So I guess they can do like a kind of catering. He's like, hey, we can do this. Fix up the kitchen, get some money, paint the boat, get it ready, and we can do just charters. Because there's people who just want to get on a boat, go out there, and they want to go fishing.
Yeah.
So when you're not doing actual fishing, you can do rides.
Oh,
and
it looks like a shrimp boat.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. But then she's like, I don't know, you're always coming up with ideas. And the way that he stacks all the boxes like perfectly.
Yeah, because hers are kind of like, okay, but his is like...
Yeah, you always have to show me up, basically.
The military. But that's the way the man is. You can't be hating on a man for the way he's doing things nice. But she's like... I don't know about this. Come on, let's go down to the bank. Let's go. We can talk. I'm talking to him. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this happen. So Sam has a lot of positivity.
And she tells her kids not to play video games, but they do anyways.
Yeah, it's like a stupid little side thing. Like it doesn't mean anything. But they're a family.
Yeah,
and that's kind of cool.
But it feels like a real family.
And
this is so fake.
The kids, I like them. I think they're energetic.
They're cute.
Fun. Yeah, they're cute. Yeah.
What you want?
That's what you want.
They look like good kids.
Yeah.
They listen to their mom and they.
Yeah.
And so it's good. I like it. It shows, like you said, shows the family.
So they got all their boxes ready and they're gonna go down to the thing, which is pretty cool. I like that. So it's like every step they take closer to this bank, I just kept going. I know it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah. Ugh.
Remember that guy that was helping Sam out? He's he's in Poland.
Yeah. No, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
And he's messing with his phone, and I see that red symbol. Like, oh my god, he's a bad guy. But no, he's trying to infiltrate. So he's walking around like, what are we supposed to do? And the guy just doesn't say anything, and we hear, boosh! Someone just robbed that bank. The guy jumps out of the top story window. It's like, oh, this guy must have powers. Yeah. It's not the leaper guy. Remember from Winter Soldier? Remember the guy that Captain America fought in the first part on the boat?
Maybe.
It could be because he's wearing a mask. We can't tell. Definitely has some super serum or some kind.
Oh, yeah, he's had abilities. He's either got robotic parts or something.
And the thing is, what was kind of smart, the bad guys did, they gave everyone a mask so you couldn't tell who was who.
Yeah, so as soon as he jumps down, he hands mask to everyone. Everyone's running around. So all they know, guy in the mask. So
and all these officers are coming, who's what? And they keep switching the bags off.
And the good thing is you don't know who's the leader. Because there was a lady with red hair that was handing out masks. That guy was handing out masks. So we don't know who the leader is.
That was the whole point. Because chaos.
So the guy's like looking around. He's like, what the heck? And then we see people getting arrested and everything.
The guy walks with the bags.
The guy's with the bags, and he's super strong. He hits a dude, and he goes flying. I'm like, oh man, that guy's dead. That guy got hit by a freaking truck in his fist. Yeah. So he knocked that dude out. Then I do like the fact, and it's also funny and it's also stupid at the same time. He like pulls a gun on the guy. Oh, about jurisdiction, we'll have to place you under arrest. You just saw this guy hit a dude and send him flying.
That's a person you almost have to shoot at that point.
Yeah, shoot him.
Yeah, he's got super strength. You got to shoot him.
I would say if he has super strength, you shoot him twice in the chest, he might live. You don't know, so bring him in.
So the guy just takes him out. Yeah. He grabs a gun, knocks over, hits him. And the shiner he gave him, like, oh god, look at that, it hurts so bad.
Then he flipped him and hit him against that sign, like, we thought, did he die?
I thought he killed him because I thought like he was strong enough to.
Then as soon as he did, everyone just disappeared and dispersed. Like,
and everyone's just running all over the place. And then boom, everyone's gone. Like, damn. So I guess he's getting closer to like whatever these terrorist cells are, or whatever.
They stole money.
These flag smasher guys.
Flag smashers, yeah.
Then we get to the worst part of the episode. Look at this guy. Do you think he's gonna give him the loan?
No, of course not. Not in a million years.
It's like, wait a second. Do I know you? Did you play for LSU?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And he's looking at him and he's like, I know you from something. And he does like the little wings. Like, that's it. You're the Falcon, the Avenger. That's so cool. Then I'm thinking, if you weren't gonna give the man the loan.
Don't even do that.
Don't do that. That's so, because he's like, oh man, takes a picture like a selfie with him, and then they're like, oh, of course. Then that's when Sam's like, yeah, we got it in. We got this guy's a fan.
But his sister doesn't believe a minute of it.
But then the sister's being a little snarky. And again, she gets proven right. Then he's like, so you superhero guys, they pay you to be an Avenger? What's that all about? He's like, well, no, it's kind of like John Goodwill. We stop the bad guys and do all these things, and things get paid for. He's like, did Tony Stark pay you, or from Stark Industries? And he's like, no. Goes, so how were you getting paid? Because your finances are all over the place. Oh, here we go. He's not gonna give him.
He's not gonna give him a loan.
And then the sister's like, well, you can't have finances when you weren't alive for 5 years. So there you go. These banks are treating like, oh, your show's no income for 5 years. I wasn't alive for 5 years.
Remember the snap and Thanos? Like, Thanos snap changes everything for that.
And the blamp. It's so stupid.
And you know what's really dumb? Okay, even if the bank told you not to, I would get on to any manager I can do. We having a freaking Avenger down here. We're gonna get so much good PR by doing this. Let's freaking do this.
Make him a spokesman.
Think about this. Avenger, person of color, military. You're telling me that wouldn't fly?
Especially some small regional bank in Louisiana.
And what is he trying to save? His family's business. Could you write a better story for
Falcon
PR?
needs the money to go friggin', go spend it on.
I want to open a strip club.
I know.
Yeah, no.
Call Falcon and the ladies.
I don't know. Ladies.
so I don't get why they wouldn't give him the loan.
I don't know either.
I would get the nerve to ask him for a selfie after all this.
Then he's like, but I qualify because the military. Loan's like, well, things have changed since then. It's so stupid.
It really is.
This part is an absolute zero.
It's a zero. It's so stupid. Of course, that's be the stupid white guy with the glasses, and he's just the white guy because white guys talk.
No, I like the fact you're Falcon, but I can't give you a loan. That's so dumb.
It's really dumb.
If I was the manager and I heard that, like you said before, Nate, I'd stop him in his head. Hey, dude, we're Falcon here.
This guy's fired. Okay, we're gonna work with you.
Yeah,
he's never gonna work ever again.
Yes,
he's out back and they're roughing him up right now.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry, Falcon. You're a manager. Somehow we'll give you the loan, but can you be our spokesman?
Or like you think, hey, you know what? We have a company picnic coming up. Could you show up with the wings? The kids and take pictures.
Oh, they would. Yeah. Come on.
You're telling me
you couldn't run an ad. Even when normal people don't. Even a superhero needs help from the bank from time to time, and they came to us for a loan for his family business, and here he is right now signing the paperwork.
We're thinking like pro people would think in this situation. That would be the quote of like he said, like an LSU football star, and not giving him a loan. Just his name alone will get you publicity.
Yeah, just showing that national championship. We're in.
Exactly right.
The PR money, it blows my mind. I don't know if I was like the owner of that bank, I would be almost having a heart attack that he said no. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
So that whole scene's so stupid.
It made no sense.
But I do like how Sam's like, forget those guys. We'll go to another bank. And the sister's tired of doing this, but Sam's not giving up. Mm-hmm. And he's not going to give up.
No.
And I do like the fact that she even said that before, like, oh, you're going to do things. He's like, yeah, I am. And he's just walking away from her.
Yeah.
So they're getting their food back thing ready. So I'm wondering, where were they taking this food to someone?
I think they're taking it to a food bank. Are they selling it? What are they doing?
I think they're probably doing food deliveries too. Because they have everything like in clamshell boxes. Man, that's some down freaking southern boil. Damn, that stuff's good.
Good, or even they made some gumbo or something.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Give me some shrimp.
Give the boiled potatoes and shrimp and corn. God, that's good. So they're like having that conversation. She's like, I want to give up. He's like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on this. I'm not giving up on you. We're going to do this. We're going to get this thing done.
I think in a way she kind of likes it, though, a little bit.
But it's nice to have someone who believes in you.
Yeah, and cares.
And believes in the family, believes in the... So, Falcon's down there fixing up the boat again. He's, like, working on the engine. And, he's walking up there. It's cruddy. It's all beat the hell up. Tony can't just drop off a freaking...
I'm thinking the reason why they wouldn't is because they're both prideful. And they don't want to be like, hey, Tony, I need... I know.
We fought aliens together.
The fact that you fought aliens and you're fighting all these fantastical things, but you can't get a loan to get some money to get those two things just don't make sense to me. That's so mundane. You couldn't help him out on that. But she's worth billions of dollars, not millions, billions. Potts could say, here's a couple million. There you go. Takes care of everything.
Hey, you know what? I got this new Stark Tech that's supposed to be a new green fishing boat that does your emissions. I need you to test it out for me.
Just give it to him.
That's a good way.
Hey, my winks. You see me winking right now? Just take it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact you can wink so hard it could be an Agatha wink, okay? Just come on. It's a little wink.
Then they go back to their boat. It's all refurbished and everything. Oh, yeah, it needs this to be...
You're telling me this, but out of all people, even Happy wouldn't want to help at this point?
Yeah. That's the only thing that's... But you wouldn't be able to have that stupid, goofy white guy who talks like a goofy white guy.
Yeah. Oh, so dumb.
Excuse me. You can't get the loan. I'm a white guy.
So dumb. Ugh.
Again, no one, but I do respect the fact they didn't, lay it on there. Is it because I'm black? I'm glad they didn't
stop that. Yeah. So that wasn't as horrible. It wasn't a minus below zero.
Yeah, the only thing he said, I think he said something about we don't give loans to I don't know. He didn't say you people, but he said something about military. But they took she's like, oh really? Mm-hmm. It's not about that. It was all.
And her husband's dead. She did mention that.
Yeah, I'm
Ms. Yeah. So, but I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. But, he's cleaning up the engine bay and he's going up to the captains and he sees pictures of the family and stuff. And all this stuff looks very real. And he's looking around. Even he's thinking, maybe we should just let it go.
Yeah.
Because your memory of your mom and dad and everything, that's the real legacy. You don't have to keep the things going.
Yeah.
Your daddy never got his restaurant, but he did have what he needed. He had his family and he had love and he had his daughters.
Yeah.
And again, to watch Princess and the Frog, I love it. It's that same message. She fought so hard for her dream. But that wasn't your daddy wanted you to be happy.
Yeah.
That was his dream, not for you to have to live his restaurant dream.
His restaurant dream, yeah. So it's tough.
I love it. It's so good. He gets a call from that guy. Boo, you need a secure network. Goes in there. He's like, hey, I was in Switzerland. I ran into those guys, And then he sees the fighting. He's like, dang, that dude's strong. He's like, yeah, don't know who he is, wearing a mask, but yeah, he's got strength on him. I tried to stop him. He took me down.
The thing is, I thought you could do intel on a computer. He goes, no, I wanted to get in the action. Yeah, you could have got yourself killed.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, orbital.
Oh. Suck it.
Don't kick me in the face. My moneymaker, no.
He kicked him, too, because I thought he killed him there.
He killed him, yeah.
Oof.
But then, then Sam's like, oh, geez, okay, just keep an ear out for these dudes, and if we can get a good intel on them, maybe I can get in there and help you. Then the sister runs in. You got to hear this, Sam. Put on the TV. Oh. Then we hear the Department of Defense, and he's like, oh, in this time and era, we need a hero for America, some heroes to look forward to and look up to. And, as the Department of Defense, I bring to you your new Captain America. And Sam's like, what the? I donated that shield because it was Steve's. Yeah. And you mother effers don't even wait 12 hours before you give it to someone else?
What is the motives of the defense secretary? Because you don't think Falcon can do it? Is that the whole kind of I don't know.
I think personally, not to be mean, they want someone they can control. Falcon could have been kind of like the wild card, and the government wants a government.
This guy looks goofy too.
Well, so what I love about this whole scene, as the defense secretary is talking, and he's getting more and more starts talking about Captain America, you see Sam's fingers start to come closer together.
Yeah.
And then he's starting to make a fist, because he's pissed.
That's not the reason why he donated the shield.
He's pissed at them for doing that.
Pissed at himself.
But guess what? Know how they couldn't have not done that? If he would have held on to the shield.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's mad at himself.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's telling his sister, hold on to the legacy of mom and dad, hold on to the legacy of that, but you let go of a legacy.
His mom, his sister's going to bring that up in the next episode. Well, she is.
And exactly. And then Sam, you're pushing her so hard because you can see something in her that she can't see herself.
That's what Steve Rogers saw in you.
so much. I love the layering in this.
And for anyone who I don't know if they're ever going to call him this because he calls him Captain America.
Yeah, he calls him.
But that is U.S. agent. So because he even has the same look. You look in the comics, look it up. Yeah. Same exact thing. And the guy just kind of has goofy look on his face. You think this guy's a super soldier or just some dude?
I think he might just be
some military dude.
I tell you the truth, I don't think this guy's going to do any combat stuff. I think he's going to be PR.
Do you think something's going to happen where he's going to be remember the scenes in the trailers where it was the football game? This is the end of the episode. The episode ends right there. Yeah. No after episode thing, so don't worry about that. I'm checking every single time now. Getting WandaVision. So, do you think something's going to happen? This is my guess. Something's going to happen during that football game. But Captain America's here. He'll save us. Oh, you're not going to save anyone. And needs a puss. And then Falcon goes in and grabs the shield and saves people. Yeah. And that's how he turns it back.
I hope not. Because,
that's my crappy writing prediction.
Yeah, you could be right, though.
But outside the bank, the writing's been excellent. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's not the case.
Oh, and also another tidbit I thought was funny. They're flag smashers. And it's funny, that's exactly what Red Skull said to Captain America.
No flags, no nations, one people.
Maybe they are Hydra.
You damn globalist. I can't stand you.
You leftist too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of...
globalism.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sorry, I'm more nationalist, and that's not a bad word either.
Guess that's the thing is, if you just be proud and love your country and be a good person. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But the ending credits are pretty badass.
Oh, amazing.
The way it looks, the shield's tarnished, but then you see the new, then you see Bucky and him back to back. It's cool. The ending credits are cool.
Ending credits. Oh, I love it. Any of those shots could be like a poster.
It's super cool.
Oh,
yep.
The Statue of Liberty, and it's kind of looking up with this graffiti, but it's still important. It still means something.
But it's still important. It's just through all the clutter, it's still there shining.
I love it. Awesome. So besides the bank scene. Goofy.
This was a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's really cool. The action was tight. I love all the stuff with Bucky. Him trying to deal with the things he did in the past, try to make things right, and that's tough to try to make things right.
I'm sorry, and I have to say this honestly. CW TV shows, you can take a lesson on doing special effects.
Oh yeah, but this Disney puts in the money.
You have to put the money to make it look good.
I mean, watch that canyon scene. I know there's gonna be someone. Well, look at the shadows aren't matching up. It looked pretty damn good to me. I don't know what to say. Go watch Supergirl, then come back to me and tell me that these graphics aren't good.
Yeah, exactly. They are.
Yeah,
They're
Falcon
amazing.
Flying or seeing Supergirl fly.
Out the window.
Yeah.
With those little
and then
robots.
it's only passable at nights. It's dark. But during the day...
And guess what? Falcon was shot during the day or shown in the day.
Yeah, it was bright as... Yeah, they didn't use dark shadows to hide everything. So, good first episode. Very good, strong first step. You stumbled a little bit with that stupid bank scene. You could have done it better. There could have been other ways that you figured it out. Saying, you know what? He goes, even this bank shutting down. I had to do a lot of things we had to cut.
That would have been nice. I actually would have liked that.
Instead of just saying, well, we can't
we got plenty of money, but we aren't giving you any.
Yeah, so dumb.
Even though you're a damn hero and you saved the world, go yourself.
And we're talking the whole world, not just, just a person, which is still important, the whole world.
The whole world, yeah.
But, yeah, I liked it. We haven't seen, again, we've seen in the trailers and stuff, how Sam and Bucky interact.
It's perfect.
That's good, but again, we see... I think they're going to do good because they're both great actors. Anthony Mackie and Chris. And
the fact is, the interaction with these two, they're so sarcastic to each other.
Like good friends.
Yeah.
Guess what? Friends bust each other's balls.
Yeah. Especially in the military.
You say mean things and you make fun of me. Yeah, that's how I know I like you. When I don't talk to you and I don't make fun of you, that means I don't like your ass.
Mm-hmm. That's how they do it in the military too. It is. It's just brother. It's a bond of brotherhood, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If I'm not busting your balls, that means that there's something we have beef and I don't like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we are still. I'm hoping we keep getting more positive than negative.
Yeah. You can give me a tiny bit of negative, but just don't
SJW it up.
Obviously, I would prefer nothing but positive. But if there is a negative, we're going to point it out. That bake scene, negative.
Yeah.
Everything else, pretty damn good.
Just don't go off the Darcy SAW rails.
Well, no Darcy character moments.
And what I like about it, it got me so intrigued, I wanted to watch more.
Yeah.
When it ended, I was like, dang.
That was 50 minutes. That felt like 25 minutes.
It felt like nothing.
So, do you think, what's Sam going to do? He's going to call up Rhodey and be like, what the F did you know about this?
Yeah.
And the thing is, you think Rhodey did?
I think he might have. That's why he's trying to hint at him to like...
I think Rhodey did, but that's what Rhodey was saying. You sure you want to give it up? I think he was trying in a roundabout way.
Because he didn't want to like force him by saying, hey, they're going to give it to someone else.
Then we're giving it to some white boy. That's yours.
Exactly.
Screw that guy. He's goofy as hell. So, a lot of implications there. Sam, you need to go in, but he's going to be pissed. But you got to go in there with a straight head saying, hey, I did this because it was Steve's shield, not so you can give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know what? Steve didn't give it to him. He gave it to me. So I'm taking it back.
The thing is, I wish they would do this so they would force him to say that, so he tells you that would prove that he really wanted it. But I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know, but obviously he gets it back.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely pretty cool episode. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I can't wait for the next one. It looks pretty cool.
Me too. I think it's going to be great.